What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Channel. My name is AJ Gales. How y'all doing? We are back with more E3 interviews. Or should I say, interview in this one, because I only have one plan for this video, and that is the Death Stranding interview with Hideo Kojima. I chose to do this one alone. One, because it's 22 minutes long, and two, it's Kojima. We're going to need some time to process a lot of this. I've been super interested with Death Stranding. I think this game there's so many questions surrounding it, mostly because I don't think we have actually seen like a solid look at it until now. And even then, I question what we saw. Did we see early game stuff? Did we see late game stuff? I read some article that we're supposed to be confused for the first like 4 to 6 hours of the game. Or you know, as I kind of think of it, I think normal Kojima. But yeah, I'm really interested in this. I mean, I love Norman Reedus, so I'm interested to see his performance. I just want to know what the hell the story is. It's obviously something sci-fi. I think Reedus plays a guy named Sam, who's, from what I could see from the trailer, or from what we saw, it looked like he was like a courier of some sort. My question is, what is with the baby? Like the baby and like the weird tanks that you see him carrying around in a couple scenes. That's my biggest question, is how does that connect with this? I'm like, I don't know. I have a theory that I think is a little crazy. There's at one point in the trailer, you hear them mention something about like come back. You know, like you'll something about they'll get you and you'll come back, or something that to me hinted at reincarnation. So I was kind of like, oh, is it they carry these things around because their consciousness then links to this other thing? I'm not sure if that's what it is. I'm sorry. I'm yapping, going into some tangents. Let's dive into this.
All right. Hey, we're here live from PlayStation's E3 booth with a very special conversation between a couple of giants in the video game industry. Those would be Hideo Kojima, founder of Kojima Productions, and Herman Hulst, managing director, if I remember correctly.
Let's give another applause.
Of Guerrilla Games. That's right. Got a big crowd here is gathered around. I wonder why. Okay, so obviously we've seen an incredible new trailer for Death Stranding come out. Looked absolutely excellent. Gorgeous, mysterious. I'm not sure I know exactly what happened in it. We're going to sort of probe our way through that footage a little bit here and try and figure out what we can learn.
Yeah.
Herman Hulst, you're here as well because, of course, there's a big connection here with this title and the Decima engine, which was developed by Guerrilla Games. So thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Ryan, would you like to kick it off with the first
You want
question?
me to start?
Please do.
Oh my God. Kojima-san, I was curious how this trailer for Death Stranding that you revealed at E3, how does it compare to the other trailers, and what was the goal, your theme that you wanted to convey with
That is a shit question, dude.
ですね、今回は、ゲームプレイ画面をお見せするのと、これまでの世界観、ストーリーのちょっと
I absolutely love this man.
謎解き、答え合わせをするっていうのと、
You know, one of the few people I think the suit jacket with the t-shirt works for.
それがテーマになってます。
So this time I wanted to show some gameplay. I wanted to show, so from what I've been showing so far about the story and the world, provide some answers to the questions that have been put before, and also
answers.
introduce to heroines of the game.
All right, very good.
Tell us a little bit. One of the coolest things about this trailer is that we get a really good look at Sam, your hero in Death Stranding. Tell me a little bit about sort of why did you decide on having an everyday hero that doesn't have military training, isn't a normal soldier that we have seen in your past games. He's an everyman, and he is kind of in, let's say, an extreme situation.
はい。今までのヒーローっていうのは、エリートなんです、全部。
So heroes so far are the elite.
あるいは、神か王子様みたいな。
Or gods or princes
特
or
別な人なんですけど、
special people.
もしくは公の役人というかその警察官とか軍人です。
Or people that have special positions, cops,
でも
military people.
サムはどちらかというとブルーカラーですね。
But Sam is a guy, a blue collar person.
肉体と精神力で世界を救うというか。
So he's a person that through his physicality and through his mental prowess, he saves the world.
なんでコスチュームも装備も今までのヒーローとはちょっと違う作りをしてます。
So for his costume, for his equipment, I try to make it in a different way from what I've been doing, from what has been done so far.
Okay. Herman, I wanted to get you into this conversation as well because the Decim engine is a cutting-edge engine. It was used to power Horizon Zero Dawn, one of my favorite games in the last few years. So I wanted to ask you, it is a very powerful engine, and how does that fit into sort of the rich visual detail that we get in a game like Death Stranding? Like, how have you guys been collaborating?
So we have a lot of contact between the studios. So clearly, the engine is the Guerrilla engine that's been upgraded to enable the making of Horizon Zero Dawn. But now we have a very different team with different processes that are super demanding and incredibly detailed, pulling the most out of that engine in a very different way. And we at Guerrilla have been anticipating this trailer because I knew from sort of looking behind the scenes that he was working on something incredibly atmospheric. And I'm really happy to see the world's most
of the engine. And with involved in video, that's who this is. Got in with his first question again. I think that was like the tone of the trailer, all that. No, ask about the game. Ask about the game. This is the thing I hate about these kind of trailers. This is what was last year. Sorry, tangent. I'm going to comment a little bit on what we just saw up here. Me too. Just trying to remember. Good. We seem clearly defined as it is with a lot of games. I mean, if you noticed when you play Metal Gear Solid 5, when you're climbing up buildings, you can clearly see a defined crack in a wall that climb up that. Sometimes Naughty Dog does this a lot with Uncharted. Like, I can climb onto this ledge. You'll see it kind of scratched a little bit. You'll see a marking that when you know what to look for, you go, that's climbable. I think with this game, they're trying to sort of do what Assassin's Creed Origins did, which is make it go, you see that point, you'll get there. And the way the character moves on the cliff face is going to be dynamic, and it's going to match the environment, as opposed to something like when you play, like I'm playing Red Dead right now. I try and go up a cliff face, and it's basically like, okay, it's made of dirt, but it looks like it. But the way the character's reacting is like it's made of ice. So it's something like that. In my opinion, that's what I think we're seeing. Like 4 or 5 seconds that we saw this guy, that we saw Sam kind of climbing this hill.
Really happy to see the world's most beautiful moss and very detailed landscapes, and all of that in a very different way coming out of the Decima engine.
I was going to say there's almost a little bit of parallel between the footage that we're seeing with Death Stranding, where we get these gorgeous, huge landscapes, waterfalls, barren deserts,
Sorry, indulge me a little bit.
Some very detailed landscapes, and all of that.
Watch this. As it's, No, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna rewind one more time. I wanted to make sure what I saw. Watch these cuts on his legs. Kind of, you don't hold. Yeah, you see how they kind of close up a little bit. I mean, it blurs. Watch this kind of cut on his. That. I don't know. I mean, like this I don't know. Don't know like what this is in this world, or what this shower is like healing him and not just washing off all this dirt. It's curing cuts and bruises. I'm not sure if this is going to be a gameplay mechanic or what. It's just I don't know. I'm just grabbing at whatever I see here.
with Death Stranding where we get these gorgeous, huge landscapes, waterfalls, barren deserts, wastelands, and we get a lot of huge landscapes in Horizon as well. And I mean,
Is he carrying a dead body?
Sort of see the engine that your team creates reflected in two different, palettes, two different art styles as well.
What's so interesting for me is that the teams are, in one way, incredibly similar, as in super detail-oriented and very ambitious and trying to squeeze the most out of everything. And yet, at the other hand side, this game looks so differently. So Horizon is kind of hyper-realistic, it's kind of romanticized, and this is a lot more photorealistic. So what they're doing with our technology is just incredible.
Yeah. Kojima-san, if I may, may I, Sid?
Sure, go ahead.
Next question about the trailer, which was an amazing reveal of two other characters that are coming to Death Stranding, played by Lindsay Wagner and Leah Seydoux. Seydoux, what has your experience been like working with these amazing performers? Kind of what was the seed for...
Oh, man.
Herman's flinching at the trailer footage right now.
Man, I love that.
Yeah, it's intense. What was the seed of your collaboration with these two amazing, legendary performers in cinema?
Okay, I missed that first time that we saw when he did that with that. He got a gun. Again, I stand by bullshit. I hate those kind of questions where it's, well, what was the experience like? No, ask about the trailer. God damn it! And the question I'm having is that I doubt anyone's gonna ask during this. Why is Sam transporting this stuff? What is he transporting? I want to know these details. Why are we traversing? Is this just his day job and he's getting paid to do this? Like, what about him makes him qualified to do this stuff? I mean, yeah, Kojima said that you're playing an everyman. Well, I'm assuming not everyone does this. That this is kind of a job that there needs to be something about him that lets him travel. Like, there's a part in the trailer where one of the characters kind of looks at him. He's like, "You can sense them. You can see them, can't you?" He's like, "No, but I can sense them." I'm like, well, what's that mean? Ask some details on the game itself. I hate that I feel like I'm critiquing the interview more than I'm critiquing the actual gameplay that we're seeing. But there are questions that I'm having like that. It's like why are we traveling this when traveling with these packages or whatever, because I'm assuming there's going to be like multiple trips or whatever, because you see him with different backpacks and different stuff he's carrying. And I mean, then I also have to ask the question, is it like quest based, as in, are there like do I get to choose what I do at any time? Or is it very linear, as in that's kind of the question. Is it more open, or is it more linear? I mean, with it being Kojima, I can guess it's going to be a little bit. But again, these are when we're out in the world. Do we get to scavenge, or is it basically just go point A to point B and try and move through the terrain? What kind of gameplay are we expecting? These are what I want to know.
レアさんもリンデさんも、
Also with the
特にリンデさんはもう僕にとっては特別な存在の方だったんで、まず仕事を、出演を受けてくれるかどうかっていうのが僕の一つの大きな壁でした。
So both Leah and Lindsay are actresses that I really like and respect a lot. Especially Lindsay, someone very, very special to me, and I wanted to work with them. But first wall that I faced, I wasn't sure if they would even agree to work with me.
で、一緒に仕事ができて本当に光栄ですし、レアさんもリンデさんも素晴らしい方で、すごい、女優さんであると同時に人間的にも素晴らしい方で、聡明でキュートで、一緒に仕事できて非常に嬉しいですし、いい関係で、ゲーム作りはできてます。
And it's just a fantastic honor that they agreed to work with me. Both Leah and both Lindsay are fantastic actresses, but more than that, they're fantastic human beings. It's a joy to work with such clever and such charismatic people, and it's just been contributing a lot to the project.
ノーマンもマッツもですけど、非常に
Tell me who the actresses that they're talking about. I don't know their work. Anybody can tell me what they've been in. Like, give me point of reference.
Also, along with them, Norman and Matt are also fantastic people. So more than them being part of the cast, I feel like we are developing Death Stranding together.
I kind of piggybacking off of that question, Herman. I mean, the Horizon was always also known for amazing performances and sort of a full capture suite of performance, voice, facial animation, movement. Is there parallels between sort of the way the Decima engine enables that performance, that amazing capture, both in Horizon and, now what Kojima-san is doing in Death Stranding?
You're going to praise the capture technology of Horizon. Look, don't get me wrong. Horizon was a beautiful game. Cutscenes. Oh yeah, the capture on the faces was very well done. But majority of the game, when we aren't like actual cutscenes, when we're just talking to NPCs out in the, I've always said because the upper half of the face doesn't move a lick when they talk, and it's like everything. The only thing that's moving is their lower jaw. It just looks weird, and everybody, as I've kind of said, it kind of looks like a marionette. It's just weird looking. I'm like, that's a very odd thing to kind of praise that game for.
Well, I'm actually.
I don't know why I had to bring that up.
Really interested to see how far they're going to push. For instance, the cinematic pipeline that we've created, because obviously that's an area that Hideo and his team have been very, very strong in the past, and the use in their way of our tool chain and our technology, I think, is really going to drive forward what we ourselves also can do with it. So that's really interesting. I'm also, if I just may say, I'm very excited that a lot of this is just gameplay, and I see little details in there that I've been wanting to ask. You see Norman, or actually Sam now, kind of balancing when the ground gets muddy. Is that actually, Kojima-san, is that actually gameplay when you see Sam kind of keep his balance?
Yeah, that's gameplay.
詳しくは言いませんけど、ゲームのメカニズムですね。ただ歩いてるだけに見えますけど、プレイすると全然違うゲームなのが分かります。
Yeah, I cannot go into too much detail, but yeah, it looks like you're just walking, but there's a game mechanic there that it's
keep him steady.
From the balance of the camera. Yep.
Cool.
That shot, by the way, of seeing the figures in the air is unbelievable. I can't. So fantastic.
Herman, I actually wanted to ask you, I think there's another connection here with Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, obviously it's great tech, but it's this narrative element, it's this performance element. I mean, obviously Ashley Birch was highly celebrated for her role as Aloy. And I mean, I feel like there's a growing recognition that titles like this need to have like really big, not necessarily big name folks, but people who are very, very experienced and are true sort of craftsmen in acting. So tell me a little bit about, what attracted you to Ashley Birch and kind of what you see for like the future of digital performances in games like this.
So first off,
Isn't this an interview about Death Stranding?
It has to do with the fact that
Jesus.
you can present the acting so much better now in video games than you were able to in the past. I don't think from a guerrilla perspective we're necessarily after huge names to put on the box. For us, it's much more about the talent and the quality. And with Ashley, it was just right off the first meetings, it was clear that she was able to bring this character to life. That curiosity that she has, the value that she brings to the deployment of the narrative. She adds to it. I mean, she makes it her own. She really has become that character for me. And whether she's a big name, she's a huge name. But even if she was a smaller name, that doesn't matter so much for us.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a movie star. It's somebody who has a huge fan base nonetheless, and thanks largely to games.
And well, she's a real gamer too, and that's she actually has a great rapport with the developer. She gets how games are made, and that to us is just as important as like a past in AAA movies, for instance.
Following that thread a little bit, I have another question for Kojima-san. When you were working with Lindsay, I was curious. I mean, she's an iconic performer. She's an author. She's even taught as a professor. What did she bring to this project that you didn't expect?
Honestly, have any
予期して てなかったというよりも一緒に、ゲームを紡いでる感じがします。
I feel like these interviews, it's a whole lot of sifting through bullshit to actually get like one or two little actual interesting info.
男優さんも一緒ですけども、一緒にリンゼーさんとこのデスストをいい方向に導くようなそういうことをやってます。
I'm not so sure about things that I didn't expect because by having here, what we're doing is creating this game together, creating the plan, and sometimes, yes, there are things that go according to plan, some things that we are adjusting day in and day out because Lindsay's there. This is the same for other cast members where we make adjustments because of what they bring to the game. But yeah, I feel like together we are leading this project in a very specific direction.
リンゼーさん最後にトレーラーで出てきましたけど、若いリンゼーさんを CG で作ってるんですけど、リンゼーさんを 3D スキャンして CG で若くしてます。
So you can see at the end of the trailer, DH Lindsay Wagner, the way we did is we 3D scan her and then digitally we DH her.
で、それを見たノーマンもマッツも俺も若くしてくれって言ってるんで、
Both Norman
影響があるというのはそういうこともあります。
Both Norman and Matt saw it and just like, all right, you have to DH me too. So yeah, I mean, you could say that is also an impact that she has had, I guess.
Kojima-san, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about music as well, since we're going through all these art forms here. And you know, music has always been such a huge part of the games that you've created. And what is it about Silent Poet's music that connected with you personally?
はい。ですね、たまたま知り合いの知り合いだったんですよ、サイレントポエットさんが。僕は音楽してるとは知らなかったんですけど。
So just by chance, Silent Poets turned out to be a friend of a friend of a friend. So I didn't know that it was they were musicians that were Silent Poets.
2月か3月にシングル、アルバムが出たんです、新譜が新しい。
And around February or March, they released a new album.
で、それをいただいて聴いたら、1曲目がこの曲なんですけど、サムが荒野を歩いてる映像が出てきたんです。
And well, because of this relationship, I was given this album that came out. So I played it, and well, the first song of that album is the song that you're listening to right now. And the moment I listened to that, I immediately had this image of Sam walking in the middle of nowhere.
なんで、その音楽ありきの今回のトレーラーですね。
So you could say that this trailer is there because of the music.
はい、音楽とデシマエンジンがあっての今回のトレーラー。
This trailer is there because of this music and because of the Decima engine.
I love it. Also, I think, very nice. I think that I saw a tweet about incorporating Norman's tattoo in this trailer. Was that important to you guys to get in there?
Real quick before that, see, again, going with the sensing of these things, my question, again, is does this affect gameplay in any way, shape, or form? I mean, obviously, like we saw in that little scene, that the redness go from his arm up into his upper shoulder and into his neck. Again, my question is, and stuff I want to know is, like, can we get an idea of what the story is? Like, why is Sam doing what he's doing? What is his goal? And I know he plays everything super chest. It's almost me asking, why have this interview if you're not going to talk about the actual game and the important stuff? Which is, again, it's like, why is Sam doing this? Why does he have this apparent connection with whatever these invisible things are? And what are they? Are they spirits? Are they monsters? Are they aliens? I'm trying to get a vibe of what is happening here, and it's so difficult.
ですね、ノーマンの 3D スキャンは結構前にやったんですよ、全身。
The thing is, so Norman's 3D scan, his full body scan was done a while ago.
ノーマンいろんな有名なタトゥーしてるんで、なるべく再現したいっていうことで再現をしてました。
So Norman has different tattoos from famous tattoo artists on his body. So as much as possible, we wanted to recreate them.
で、今年になってからP キャップが何回かあったんですけど、その時にノーマンが新しいレズミをしたんで入れてくれるみたいな。
So this year we had some performance capture sessions with him, and in one of those sessions, Norman came and, hey, I got a new tattoo. Can you put it in my character?
で、急遽入れた。
So yeah, well, we got it in last minute.
で、もともとこのシーンはノーマンには 手の甲の入れ墨がないシーンで、どっちかというとカット的にはですね、手の甲よりその向こうにある写真に意識がいくようなカットなんです。
So originally in this cut that you see with Norman's tattoo, the idea of this cut was for the photo that is beyond the hand to make a strong impression, not the tattoo.
後から入れ墨入れたんで、まあ、皆さんこちらに目がいくと思います。
But yeah, because we added that tattoo, I know that a lot of people get more focused on the tattoo than the photo itself.
He'll show up with a huge new tattoo the day before Masters Edition.
Digging into like the actual construction of the trailer, it did look like the tattoo was actually the important thing in the shot, not the photo. I mean, the photo looked important, but as he was reaching for it, it was almost like I forget the actual like term when you frame the photos. The what was going on in the background, the aperture. There we go. That's what it does. There we go. My photojournalism class paying off. But the photo almost a little bit, and it's like it focuses on the tattoo on the hand. Like the tattoo is actually the important thing in the shot. Like that's what he stopped when he saw the tattoo, and it reminded him of something. It's like Kojima said. I think it was that's probably an accident, but it made it look like the way, shape, or form.
できます。
Just to keep you on your toes.
Since we are here at E3, I thought it might be fun. Were there any particular standouts for either of you at PlayStation's Media Showcase the other night?
Besides Death Stranding.
Of course, besides Death Stranding.
ラストオブアス2。
Last of Us 2, yeah.
すごいです。
Impressive.
They'll be happy to hear that. I think that's a favorite pick. Herman, any standouts from your front?
Well, clearly, obviously that game, but also Ghost of Tsushima, that world that Sucker Punch is creating. I'm really excited to explore that.
Herman, before we let you go, also, I was curious to know if you could talk to us a little bit about, you were speaking of the collaboration between your teams earlier. Do you feel like you've already, I know it's early in the process, but do you feel like your team, the Decima team, has learned anything from this collaboration and started to incorporate those lessons into future iterations of the engine?
I mean, there are tons of little learnings when you have a tough customer like Kojima Productions. But I think largely when you collaborate with another team, what you experience is technology is an expression of how the team makes games, of their philosophies. And what I mentioned earlier is that even though the teams couldn't be more different, hardly, there are so many similarities, and that to me is a great learning, that there's another team almost on the other side of the world that speak a different language and operate in such a different culture that still have a very similar mindset when it comes to making games, and that's really fantastic to see. And obviously we're going to use the engine to replicate Hideo, because I read online that it might be his last game, so we got to do something.
I'm going to let the translator finish. Oh, it's a good one. Before we let Kojima-san go, I do have to ask. We have a huge audience here, a huge audience watching at home. If you can convey one thing to them in their hopes and their expectations for Death Stranding, what would it be?
ですね、新しいゲーム性と新しいゲームのなんでしょうね、やり方にチャレンジしてます。当然今まで通りのゲームプレイもできますけど、ちょっと新しいチャレンジをしているので、そこをちょっと期待していただければと思います。
Well, I'm trying to create new gaming elements. I'm trying to create a new way to play games. Of course, you will be able to play this game the standard way of playing games, but I'm trying to create something new. So.
で、2016年にですね、僕はもう何もなかったんで、事務所もなく、エンジンもなく、ツールもなかった時に、マークさんと一緒にスタジオツアーをしたんです。
So another thing is that in 2016 I had nothing. I didn't have an office. I didn't have in January 2016. Sorry, I didn't have anything. I didn't have an office. I didn't have an engine. I didn't have a staff around me. And around the time, Mark Cerny took us to a tour.
で、まあいろんなところを回ったんですけど、まあ頭の中しかなかったです。企画は
I went to different
目に見るのはほとんどなかったです。
I went to different places, but I barely had anything tangible. It was mostly in my mind.
でもゲリラさんはそんな僕にデシマエンジンの全てが入ったものを僕にくれたんで、
And under those circumstances, Guerrilla just gave us pretty much a whole engine.
もう普通考えられないです。本当に感謝です。
That's something unthinkable. That's something that I could never
ありがとうご
express
ざいます。
how thankful I am for that.
まあデシマエンジンがなければこれもできませんし、はい。
None of this would be possible without the Decim engine.
で同じその2016年の1月にノーマンに1回会ってで企画を説明して一緒に参加してくれるって言ったらすぐ OK って言ってくれたんで、もうその時もびっくりします。何にもなかったのに。
And around the same time in 2016 January, also met with Norman and asked him to be part of the project. And he also, without hesitations, he said, yeah. So that,
はい。でこの背景に紐みたいなのが出てますけど、
so as you can see in the background, well, not in the scene, but in some scenes of the
そ
trailer,
の
you
テ
can
ーマ
see
の
some,
一つがつながり縄のロープなん
some
で、
kind of chords. And one of the themes of Death Stranding are the ropes.
まあゲリラともノーマンとも出演者たちと、まあ、スタッフもみんなそのロープでつながって作ってるっていうそういう感じがします。本当にありがたいです。
So I want to say that I feel like I'm making the game with these connections with Guerrilla, with Norman, with the team members. The game development is being based on all this
もうこの
connections.
ロープは離さないつもりです。
I will never let these ropes go now.
I love it. I could think of no better way to end that.
That was fantastic. Yeah, gentlemen, thank you so much for both of you coming by. I know it's a busy E3 for everybody, but Kojima-san, the new trailer looks mysterious and amazing. And Herman, we are all, very much pleased with the work that your studio's done with Guerrilla and Horizon Zero Dawn. Appreciate you coming by to give us a little bit more insight into Decima Engine.
Very happy to be here.
Very nice.
Have a great E3, everybody.
Yes, thanks
Yay.
everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
As the translator breathes a sigh of relief. Again, I feel like I hate doing these sometimes because I feel like I'm criticizing the actual interview more than anything. And I understand it's not necessarily their fault. There are questions they can ask and can't ask. And like I said, Hideo is a very it sounds like I'm bashing him when I say this. Hideo's a weird dude, and I respect the hell out of that. I think he's a phenomenal artist. He's amazing at what he does, but he can be infuriating sometimes. I'm sure everybody knows this. I'm echoing a lot of people, but it's like it's trying to what's the old expression? Trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I have so many more questions than I have answers right now about this game, and even his whole thing with chords. And connections are kind of a theme in this game, but now I have to start asking, what exactly does that mean? Is it like a tangible theme, like we're seeing the chords of these things floating around in the air? But again, my question is, what are they? Are they ghosts? Are they invisible, or are they just intangible? What are, well, I guess invisible and intangible are kind of the different. I'm trying to get at, like, do they have like a corporeal body? Like if I reached out, could I touch it? Or would I just go through it? Is it like a ghost, or is it like just something that's invisible? Like, is it like Predator or a ghost? There we go. Again, what is Sam's connection to these characters? What exactly is Sam doing? I mean, he mentioned a little bit in there about gameplay. I mean, we have confirmation that there are mechanics in the game to keep your balance when the ground is rumbling underneath you. So there we go. We have a little bit of gameplay confirmed. But again, I have so many questions. I want to know what's mission structure. What is the base outline of the story? Who are these characters? What are the relations? What exactly is happening? And I have a very strong feeling we're not going to know a whole hell of a lot of that until the game launches. Probably sometime in 2030, because Hideo hates all of us. I should be saying Kojima. I should be a lot more respectful than that. Yeah, guys, that's about all I got for this interview. My head feels like exploding already. Next one, I have an interview from The Last of Us Part 2. We'll be looking at that, and depending on length, I might throw in an interview for Ghost of Tsushima, and or some articles on The Last of Us Part 2 and Cyberpunk 2077. But that's for the future. I want to say thank you so much for watching, everybody. As always, Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to all that stuff can be found down in the description below. Please remember to like, comment. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. But until then, my name is AJ Gels. This is the Up There Gaming Channel. I'm out.
And we are coming back with some Last of Us Part 2s.
I guess in this day and age it might be.
Don't know how much I can tell you, but seeing as how you're new here, I guess I can try to help you out.
Tell me about terrorists.
Decent place to live, I guess.
Swoop!